2 weeks ago, I wasn't looking at the news as much as I am now, and I'm just kind of shocked.
One of the great things about living abroad, and it's something I always say, is we're like in this bubble of freedom. So it was almost like that bubble popped, and it was like, whoa, what is going on?
You know, we're Mexico. We are really people that help. We are usually to help each other. I just hearing a joke about why Mexico never getting scared with the crisis, because we always living in crisis. Everything is happening all the time here. You know, we don't have money, we don't have health, and other viruses coming here, and then terremotos, and then natural disaster. All the time is happening things here in Mexico, you know.
And I also think part of what is happening with this pandemic, this is making us really see ourselves and be with ourselves. And I think that's tough on a lot of people, including myself. Like, without distractions, yeah, you can only scroll through social media and the news so much.
Self-quarantining right now in our house for the last week, other than to go to the grocery store and get groceries. And just wanted to show you a glimpse into the life. Have to say, things haven't changed all that much since we already worked from home in terms of like editing and writing and Nate teaching English online. Yeah, we're adjusting to it just fine. So here is a glimpse in the life. There's Nate on the phone with Bluehost. He just put out a map about Mérida with 419 neighborhoods here, actually.
Whoa, what is that?
I'm thinking this is why nobody's tried to take this on yet, because this is a really, really, really huge task. Good thing we're stuck inside for the next couple months or next couple weeks, and I can get this out and look at every single neighborhood in all of Mérida. If you live in Mérida, we are looking for people that tell us a little bit about their neighborhood, restaurants to go to if they're walkable, kind of best things, neighborhood war style. So let us know where you live and what your favorite things are. There's Ann, my buddy.
20 people have already signed up. We just put it out yesterday. So we're gonna add that to the project, to the database. So it'll be sort of like kind of like if you think of like Wikipedia when it first began. Our little haven. This tree always has so many birds come and visit us. There's my little reading spot today. My writing spot. Nate's working, outdoor desk.
So that's somewhere. But now, oh no, login failed. Done.
This is his favorite thing to do. Okay. Let's do it out. Plenty of distance from anyone. So honestly, I've just been feeling so lucky that we are here. We're not that far from Centro, and yet it feels like the country here. We've just fallen in love with this place. We're in this neighborhood called Nuevo Yucatan. I can even go on a run through here and there's like nobody on the streets, or if there is, like, you see them hundreds of feet away and you can avoid interacting with anybody. The cats love it. It's just, I really don't take it for granted being able to enjoy the outdoors right now and not be close to anybody, just enjoy nature. It may seem crazy that I am running at this hour of the day. It's like not necessarily the coolest time to be running. I walk. I use this 5K app on my phone to sort of track me and tell me when I need to run and when I can slow down and walk, and it's sort of like, I guess, high intensity interval kind of HIIT thing. But anyhow, I always run to this park here in our neighborhood called Parque Nuevo Yucatan, and it's really nice. Here's my beautiful run today. This is the track in the park. Nobody here. Got it all to myself. Oh man, it's a hot one, you guys. Wouldn't necessarily recommend this in 99-degree weather, but hey, you know, I get my run in, I get my outdoor time. I don't have to worry about, you know, coming in contact with anybody. And somehow I've like acclimated to this weather. Don't ask me how, but yeah, it's not too bad. So here we are. Let's keep running. If you're able to get out in nature right now and in seclusion away from other people, it's so good for mental health. It's so good for physical health if you can go on a hike or a walk or something. Come on, Winston, let's go inside. Come on. This is his favorite thing to do. Why do you like rolling around so much? So here is our messy utility room, laundry hanging, stocked up on a bunch of food and drinks for our pantry. See, we've got tons of cans of food, tea, you know, tomato sauce, pasta, rice, grains, wine and beer. Got tons of water, filtered water. Was able to get some stuff delivered through Rappi a couple of days ago, which was cool. Did go to the grocery store yesterday for a few more things. Used hand sanitizer like crazy amount, like I think 7 times when I was in there. Put it on like the grocery cart. Yeah, just trying to stay safe, trying to stay home. I'm gonna do some writing for a client and some preparations for, we're gonna do some Zoom interviews for a video for another client. So yeah, just got to prepare for that, and it's a good day.
How are you?
Good. I'm just working on some stuff. I made a map of every neighborhood in all of Merida.
I saw it. Well, I can go in. I don't know why I'm trying to do it.
Hey, Momma.
Hey!
I know the mostly of the neighborhoods, so you want to know something about that? I could
You
do
know
it.
how many neighborhoods there are?
No. I mean,
419.
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
The reason is I don't know, like people would say, oh, I'm in Alamos Nueva Aleman. And I'm like, I don't know where that is.
Well, just really nearby to La Alemán, so it's a little bit more further. It's Nueva Alemán. So, you know, everything the neighborhoods they call the Nueva, or it's pretty much nearby to the old one, you know. So, like for example, Alemán, and then the Nueva Alemán is really nearby there. Or for example, your colonia, that is Colonia Nuevo Yucatan, is really nearby to Colonia, to Avenida Yucatan, which is that's the name.
Exactly. Yeah. But it was fun. I mean, I'm not doing too much right now. I'm just kind of stuck behind the computer. So
The problem is that most of the people that give you advices about neighborhood is expats.
Well,
So,
yeah. I'm making this. I was telling Cassie just the other day, or just this morning, I'm going to redo the survey in Spanish.
How cool would it be if you could do like virtual tours with people, and then they just gave you tons of money through like PayPal. They're like, okay, I'm gonna take this place. I like it.
And the problem is that all the places are closed. So I went this morning to immigration and it was like 3 people there only. So I'm just doing like the really important tramits now.
Like everybody else, my business was affected, but at least not as much as others. Anyone a part of Mediavine basically lost all our income, like 90% of our income overnight.
What? Are you serious?
Because unless you're in the crafting or recipe or something like that, but even then our RPMs, like the pay rate is so low right now, it's not even worth it. Nobody's searching for anything travel or living abroad right now. They're just distracted by the virus. So
yeah.
But I'm diversifying my income, so I'm lucky, but other people are not so lucky, and it's stupid.
Yeah.
I canceled my retreat and I lost money there, but it could have been worse. We could have been like really far in. I could have been really deep in trouble.
Or you
So.
could have gone and gotten sick.
All that kind of stuff.
We just had a friend of ours in New York.
Yeah.
She just eloped. She was like, well, wedding's canceled, so
Yep.
sorry. And the gift.
Yeah, well, we're supposed to go to Guatemala, y'all, this Friday. I'm like kind of sad, but Guatemala.
No, I'm glad you guys didn't go. They closed their borders, so if you had went during the time and the border shut, it would have been hard to get out. I know of quite a few people trapped because I have all the single moms around the world. I have moms that got trapped in Morocco because once they closed the borders, usually with like less than 12-hour notice, if you didn't get to wherever you needed to get in that time frame, you're stuck because they closed the airport. So
yeah.
like Guatemala was one of them. There's a few people stuck there, and in Costa Rica and everywhere. Peru. There's like 200 people in Peru.
Oh.
Yeah, well, we have some friends in Colombia who are stuck there, but I was laughing because I told Nate, I said, in Canada, they sent like an emergency flight home for everybody. And they said, if you don't want to come home, we'll give you $5,000. Can you imagine if the United States did that? They're like, here's money. You could stay in Mexico.
Because we don't want to.
I thought it was a $5,000 loan to get home or something like that.
It was if in case any medical expenses.
Oh, okay.
In their like expat country. I was like,
yeah, United States was like, you're on your own. And then if there were flights, it was like $1,500 per person or something like that. Like, wasn't affordable for a lot of people. So I'm grateful. Like, we're sitting here in Mérida, and yeah, we're on our own too. We don't have a consulate, nothing like that anymore, but at least we're like in our homes and our.
And Barbie, I mean, almost every single day, I think this anyway, but like even more so now because we're stuck at home all the time. I'm just like, thank Barbie, our sweet angel who got us this amazing place. Like every day I thank my lucky stars and I thank.
Yes, you need videos like this, Barbie. Like I thought of that. I said, what if I was still in the freaking SMDT house right now with like a bunch of single mom families in my house falling apart every day and no air conditioning and hell. Like I'm in a state of like, I'm literally jumping in my pool every freaking day and playing in the yard and and air conditioning. Oh my God. I'm like just so grateful.
I'm just waiting, you know, now it's difficult. All the people are canceled their flights. I understand perfectly, you know, so we're pretty much stuck now. So I'm just praying for this don't take too much time, you know. Our government say that there will be, I mean, kind of a normal thing in 1 month more, but who knows? We never know. So we're just waiting. They're not close the border here yet. So I'm kind of like a worry about that. I mean, I'm worried about the people that are coming because they couldn't bring in the virus or something. But still, I have a client that are coming in first. So I'm just hoping that she can make it, but no, yes and no. I'm just like, I don't know what I need to feel in, you know, but if she's coming, it's money for me. But if she's not coming, I mean, it's more safe. So, I mean, I honestly don't know. So I'm trying to be positive all the time. And at least, I mean, for now, I get in some small money. So I'm just paying everything that I need in this month. So I'm pretty much covered this month, but who knows what will happen the next month. So. we're just praying.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you guys think about this virus? Like, I honestly, 2 weeks ago, I wasn't looking at the news as much as I am now, and I'm just kind of shocked. Like,
Boy, I think I'm the same way. I mean, I was joking about cheap flights just like 2 weeks ago, and I even went out for my birthday, March 11th, and celebrated all night with we were at different bars, and one of them, there are people all around the world. And then March 12th, when I woke up, is when the World Health Organization announced that it was a pandemic, and I started paying attention because one of the great things about living abroad, and it's something I always say, is we're so grateful to be in this bubble where we're not bothered by what's happening in the US half the time. We don't even know what's happening in Mexico half the time. We're in this bubble of freedom. So it was almost like that bubble popped, and it was whoa, what is going on? I had to start paying attention to everything. And the virus is because at first it was oh, it's just like the flu, which the flu is terrible. And I've always stated that the flu is bad. I don't know what everyone's oh, it's just like the flu. Have you had the flu? Because, whoa. But then to recognize that it's actually not just like the flu, right? And there's just so many unknowns with it. The fact that it can stay in your body for so long and all that kind of stuff. The fact that it can go undetected for up to 2 weeks prior to you showing any symptoms, if you ever do show symptoms. So it's just, for me, this whole virus thing is actually scary, and there's just a lot of unknowns and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, the Trojan horse thing is really scary, kind of the scariest thing. It's you
the
can
what?
have it, it sneaks into your body undetected, and you don't even know you have it. You just walk around, you take airplanes,
Spreading it around,
see your mom and hang out, and then guess what? You just talked to 1,000 people.
Shoot, I knew when Disney World closed and South by Southwest was canceled that this is the real deal. It wasn't a hoax. It was no longer a joke, because there's one thing in the U.S. we don't like to do, even big businesses, lose money. So I knew if even they were losing money, then there's a problem, right? I was whoa. I don't believe this is going to be over in a month. I don't believe it's going to be over in 2 months. I think Mexico is delayed. I think there's a lot more here than we know, because I don't think a lot of testing's being done. And they haven't closed the border officially from allowing people. Actually, they have, I thought that it is closed. It was closed from the U.S. side, and I thought that it was both.
yeah.
No, but the flights is still coming here in the airport. So I just having a customer, a client that just flew that Sunday from here to go back to United States. And I have other clients that will supposedly fly in tomorrow from here to United States also, so going back. So there's not closed the border here yet,
Well, going back, you can fly back to the U.S.
I have a client that are coming, and she have already the tickets for the Tuesday. So it's not closed now. I don't know what happened tomorrow. I don't know, but it's not closed now. So, and especially because our president, I think that is kind of we're Mexico. We don't have the economy for close. Mexico for 1 month, because almost all the people earning money every day. So we live in day by day. So it's really, really difficult to us. I be hearing a lot of friends that it was evicted from their homes without no paying and all the stuff. So this is really freaking out for us, So, but the thing is, I wasn't paying attention too much 2 weeks ago. It was living kind of like a normal. I understand all the parts, the social distance and all the stuff, but honestly, I think the reason for the Mexico is not getting really crazy is because we don't have the economy for just go out and buy a toilet paper for 3 months, that's ridiculous. But we don't have the money, the capacity for going to the supermarkets and buy 3 months of groceries and all this stuff. So we need to live day by day. So we're taking precautions like everyone do. And it's terrible because mostly they're tourists. They're bringing the virus here, and also the Mexicans with a lot of money, they're being travel around the world, they're bringing the virus here. So it's us, the Mexicans, were not traveling for a lot of time, we are doing nothing. This is more affecting to us than them, because they have the money for they can close and all this stuff, and we don't have it. So we need to go out, so it's still working and all this stuff. So my mostly fear is about getting too much people. I mean, I'm not worried about me or my family, because we're healthy. I don't have like health problems, or I'm healthy, and my kids too. So, and then we don't have old people living here, so mostly we're not in the vulnerable groups now. I don't have people in the vulnerable groups in my home, so I'm pretty safe in that part. But the thing is, my most fear is getting this virus will spreading a lot with the poor people, and then we don't have enough supplies in their hospital for that people, and then the people going to start to die just because we don't have the money, or we don't have the hospital places, or we don't have the supplies for try to contend in these things. So that's my mostly fear, about our neighbors and all this stuff, because I see that the most vulnerable people still need to go out for working because they don't have the money. So that's the most problem for us. I'm seeing that, and then I'm more worried about them. I'm not worried about me really. We're pretty good, and then I have enough groceries or whatever for it can be locking down for 1 month more or something like that. So the thing is, I'm more worried about the other people. They're bringing the virus here, and then I feel pretty bad, because I know that the tourist is my target, that's my client, so I want they come, but at the same time I'm worried about my people, the Mexicans, that we are very vulnerable now. So I'm like I don't know what I should feeling. I'm feel really angry about they still letting the people come in, but at the same time relief, because it's some of the people bringing money to me. So it's really difficult situation now.
Yeah.
I think that brings up like a good point just for Mexico and any country like that, because it's like, if you depend on tourism, how are you supposed to make money? Or and also for people who, like, I've thought about like the older people who are the baggers. It's like that, is it like a volunteer program in Mexico where like the baggers are usually older people who need work and they make money on the tips, but I think they've cut most of those people. Like, what's happening to them? Like, do they get a stipend from the government? Like,
no, we still tip. So I went yesterday, they sent them home, but you still tip in a jar, and then they distribute it to them so that they're not in danger, but they're not losing money as long as people keep tipping. And I saw the tip jar, and it looks like people, including myself, are still putting the tips in, which I thought was absolutely amazing that they did that they sent them home to protect them, but still they're going to receive money from those tips that are going into the jar.
That's good. That's good.
We are really people that help. We are usually to help each other, all the time. I just hearing a joke about why Mexico never getting in crisis. We don't get in a scare with the crisis because we always living in crisis. Everything is happening all the time here. We don't have money, we don't have health, and other viruses coming here, and then terremotos, and then natural disaster. All the time is happening things here in Mexico, so we're not worried about getting food. We are really, really nice people, and then we are able to go out. I just go out and try to ask my neighbors if they need something, because even with food, we always have someone that offer you food. But the problem is with the other stuff, like the power bill, and I'm just worried about the power bill. I'm just spending almost 3,000 pesos and pay my power bill. I was just freaking out, and then I need to pay it, because if I don't pay it, they will cut me. So, and the rent also, we need to pay rent. So that's the mostly problem, and then we don't have the government for just saying, these bills can be stopping for 1 or 2 months until this passing by. We don't have the capacity there, the economy, our government don't have that capacity. So that's the mostly, the most worry, because food, we always can get in food. I mean, that's easy, you know. So we always sharing food and then inviting people to eat with you because, well, that's how the Mexican shows love, you know, cooking for everyone and then share meals. So that's easy. But the other things that is really more scary, you know, about don't having a roof. At least our government is just stopping the evictions from now. I just reading in the news our governor is not signing because for someone when you have a suit, somebody sued you or something like that, and then they will eviction to your home because you're not paying or whatever. They need their government signature for for getting the police and then kick you out. So the governor is just stopping that. She's not signing anything for eviction to the people to the homes. But still, if you don't pay the rent, maybe your landlord will get mad and who knows what could happen, you know. So legally they can kick you out, but still, who knows what will happen.
And it's the accruing money too. Sometimes it's scary for people. And that's what they're saying for kind of the economy is that, sure, you don't have to pay rent now, but your landlord's going to come back once this is all over and say, okay, like 3 months, please. And you're going to say, I didn't make money for 3 months. But at that point, they don't really care.
And then if you don't pay, then the landlord's out of money, and they might be depending on that. It's almost like the government has to step in and do something. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess they're doing stuff in the U.S. Supposedly they're going to give like $1,000. I don't know.
And then $1 trillion to the corporations.
They already did. I thought.
Yeah, did you see it? They're giving
quick.
They're giving $1 trillion to the corporation.
Yeah. I thought it was 3.5 trillion.
Yeah. Well, everyone's buying toilet paper. Not enough people are buying iPads.
Nate and Cassie, how do you feel about being here in Mexico during this time instead of back in the U.S., like where your family and friends are? Maybe some of them, because obviously we're family and friends too.
We talk about that actually a lot, is that we talk to our family in the U.S. We talk to our family in Queens, talk to my family in Portland, talk to my brother and his wife are there in Houston right now. They actually left Mexico City. But
my mom's in Albuquerque.
And your mom's in Albuquerque. Your mom's completely
over.
fine. But, you know, just being able to have, we said that there's no better place to be socially isolated than here.
Yeah.
Because it's so comfortable and you don't really have to worry that much about, you know, twice as much as what we would be paying.
You know, I was thinking about that is even me, like I never expected myself to react in the ways that I've been reacting and to be going to this emotion of like, you know, sadness, fear, anxiety, sometimes happiness, gratitude, boredom, like all these different, I thought for sure I would handle this like really well. I've got a lot of moms to lead. And instead I was like really being crazy, like almost moved back to the US at one point, even stated it to friends and family, like, oh, we're moving back. I was looking at tickets, about to sell all my stuff. And just like really being a nuthead. Like I'm kind of shocked. I mean, I know I'm crazy in general, but it's like, this has like escalated my emotions and all this stuff. And I just now, like today's probably the first day that I feel really like level and calmer and stuff like that with everything and motivated again to work and write. And really, like Barbie was talking about how her business is being affected. I think a lot of people are dealing with that in different ways, whether you work online or you work a physical job or you depend on expats, whatever it is we're having to come up with a different way. You know, like I can't be selling travel and living abroad right now, but I can be selling community and virtual community and stuff like that. So I have to like change the emphasis of what's it about. And I think people are having to get really creative with business right now, and even how we sell during a time when everyone is so distracted and fearful because people are losing jobs, people are getting sick, all this kind of stuff. And I also think part of what is happening with this pandemic, I wanted to do like a YouTube video about this, is like, this is making us really see ourselves and be with ourselves. And I think that's tough on a lot of people, including myself. Like, we're really having to sit with ourselves right now and deal with our thoughts right now without distractions. Yeah, you can only scroll through social media and the news so much. But you're still going to come back to like, I'm trapped in my house. My house is lovely. Thanks, Barbara, luckily. But I'm really having to sit with my emotions right now and my choices and all this other kind of stuff. And I think for a lot of people, that sucks. Like, what do you mean? Like, I need to be going out with friends, you know, and all the activities we do. We're no longer distracted by that stuff. We're like having to face all of it head on. And yeah, it's been interesting to see that kind of play out with myself, play out with my clients, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah.
And you bought a puppy, right?
I did. So I have told my girls for the last 3.5 years no, because of many reasons. One, we traveled full time for 2.5 years. We've never stayed in one place. And even when I said I loved Mérida, yeah, I knew I loved it. I loved everyone here, but I never thought that a year later we would still be here. This is the longest we've been in one place. And I got a puppy, and I'm still like, you know, this is a big decision. It's like a 14, 15-year decision. So that I've literally worked through for the past, anyone who knows me knows that I've said like, no, because I value freedom, and adding another member to your household can slow things down. But I also recognize that our life had already slowed down with living in Mérida, and we just travel sometimes, and we can get a house sitter now because people will actually want to stay in this house to care for our dogs. So just because, you know, like when you guys move, like it becomes a lot easier to find someone to like, yeah, sure, I'll go stay in your house for free and care for your animal if we do travel or whatever. So yeah. I think recognizing that we're no longer full-time travelers, we actually have a home base, and we ain't going nowhere, even if I might get crazy sometimes. So
that makes me laugh, because what I heard one of Nate's friends on FaceTime being like, why are you guys the native nomads? You guys like went to Mérida and you never left.
Yeah.
I was like, well, technically we have traveled a lot, but this has always been our home base. And like something you said reminded me of it, but just like, every time, even though that birthdays group is a little crazy sometimes, there'll be like 80 messages or something. At the end of the day, I'm always so happy to see these message boards and these Zoom calls and everything, because it's like, we are all in it together here in Mérida. It's like, if we were I don't know, if I just think like if we were in Bali or stuck there, or stuck somewhere on one of our travels and we didn't know anybody, this would be so much scarier. But the fact, like,
oh yeah,
I feel like we have family here.
Yeah.
You know,
If you were rapid traveling, you had 14 plane tickets booked or something like that, and you're in who knows where in the world, and all of a sudden it's like, wait, I can't go anywhere.
Yeah,
I don't have a home
scary.
to go back to. And
no support system.
Yeah, exactly. So,
which is what we have here. We have this amazing, I am grateful every day, and I want to always remember that, because that's something I didn't have back in the US. And right now, you know, my big thing has always been pushing community and the importance of human connection and community, and a lack of that, especially in the US. Mexican culture is all about community, and it's crazy that as expats, a lot of us, that we were able to entangle our lives with locals and actually have locals that are family as well and a part of our community. Like, I don't find us really separate to that. It's a great mix of all different people from all around the world, and how we were able to like really create this amazing community that I've never seen in my lifetime before here in Mérida. So even during a pandemic, like, we're still doing virtual Zoom calls and happy hours and virtual mixers and stuff like that. So it's just, to me, it's like crazy amazing that it would have been a whole lot worse had I not had the community that we have here, that I could write or call up, or, you know, someone checking in on me saying like, how are you dealing with this? Are you okay? And all that kind of stuff. So, you know.
Yeah, it was surreal when they were like, borders are closing. And even some of our family wrote us to go, what's your deal? Are you guys staying there? And I thought about it. I was like, it never had crossed my mind. It was never a question. It was like, yeah, of course we're staying here. But then I actually thought about, okay, what is the actual decision? oh yeah, okay, yeah, we're staying here, we're cool, we're good. But it was weird to even just think like we might not be able to get back into the US. We don't even know how long. Like
Exactly.
that's crazy.
Indefinitely. Well, that was the word describing for Canadians. Like, you better be prepared to be wherever you're at indefinitely if you don't get your butts back right now.
If that's not the true definition of an expatriate, like I don't know what
Yeah.
is.
Everyone.
There ain't no rescue flights. We're not getting a rescue flight. So we're on our own here. And I think, like, I know that if something happened to me, though, and I think that's the reason why I stayed, right, is I do have family here. You are all my family, and I know damn well you guys would help the girls and help me if that, and the vice versa, right? So it's just like, when we have like 80 deep, man, in this community at this point of like people that are really close. So it's not like one or two people, it's like jam-packed family. This is our choice. And a lot of people don't realize that when you make the choice to live abroad, we don't have a home to go back to. Like, what do you mean go back to? Like, where are you going to go back to? You know what I mean? And my life is here. My life's been here for the past year. Like, there's no home to go back to, because when you make the decision to get rid of it all and start traveling the world or to move abroad, there's nothing, there's, you know, in the event of a pandemic happening, which of course nobody's thinking about, like, there's no home to go back to. And because of it's a pandemic, it's a virus, a lot of us will be going back to like our family that is an older generation of moms and grandparents.
I just wanted to say, Nate and I were just saying what weird timing this whole thing is, because okay, literally a month ago or less than a month ago, we were in New Orleans right before Mardi Gras, all these parties going on and parades. I mean, I'm not like 2 weeks later, this thing hit the US. Like, we were like, I mean, I was like tracing our trip, and it was like we were just missing this thing. I mean, I don't even know. Like, this whole thing has been crazy.
And while we were in New Orleans, we were booking places in Italy or Spain.
Actually, both.
We were looking, we were like, okay,
Both.
like we'll go to Italy, and then after Italy, we'll go to Spain.
This summer, like, we literally had, I was looking through my text messages with 2 people in Italy, and they were like, oh, it's hit the north, but it's not bad down here in Naples. And literally, like, in the news, 5 days later, all of Italy was shut down. I was like,
Absolutely.
what? Like, my mom.
It goes back to gratitude. That's what I'm saying. Like, even the time for me, I was supposed to leave for the US on May 2nd. So if this had happened to project even later, I would be trapped in the US with like my elderly grandparents, right? Because we had Disney World plans and everything, and a whole bunch of money on the line, all this stuff. And we probably would have had a hard time getting even back here and stuff like that with everything happening. So yeah, it's just crazy to think like the timing. Like, I just keep thinking every day, like, wow, this worked out for me, like exactly how it should have worked out. And I'm just going to sit here and be like, thank you.
I'm just saying, like, a dream maybe is like, you know, I think the phrase "the bounce back party" was put out.
Oh yeah,
which
we're
is
gonna
like,
go
maybe,
down.
like, I'll take a week off of work or something once this is all done and go.
They have like a huge party.
Massive. I think we should too. That would be awesome. The comeback. We made it through this pandemic party together, living abroad.
Nate is teaching inside.
Are you ready to start? Let's go!
And I am about to do a little editing work. And just wanted to show you my 2 little gargoyles who are always by my side from when I wake up in the morning, and they come running downstairs with me. They follow us from room to room, and I'm out here, and they are literally both by my side. Cutest thing ever.